Sorry for that. You can use this. Now, without using mathematical logarithm tables or calculator, you evaluate. Now, we have 64 power half times 27,000 power 2 power 2.5. Then we divide by 22 power 4 times 3 power 0 times 5 power 2. Now, we know that 64 per half is the same as the square root of 64. So you look for the square root of 64. So you look for the square root now square root of 64. Then we multiply by now 2 power 3 power 2 over 3. That means we look for the cube root of 27,000. Then 27,000. Then we square. Then we divide by 2 power 4, which is now 16. Now 16 times 3 power 0 is 1, times 5 power 2 is 25. So we shall have now square root of 64, which is 8, times, now we shall have 27 cube root of that times squared, you get 900. Then we divide by 16 times 25, we get 400. So this will go with this. Here 2, here that one 1, here 2. Then we have 9 times 2. 9 times 2, and then we get 18. So that is how we simply solve this using without using logarithm tables or calculator. We are simply using the laws of logarithms. Then we move to the next question, question number 2. Question number 2. Now you simplify the expression. Simplify the expression. 3a squared plus 4ab plus b squared. Then we divide by 4a squared plus 3ab minus squared minus b squared. Now, we start by looking for the numerator. We solve the numerator first, and then we move to the denominator. The numerator. So our numerator is 3, then plus b squared. Solve this, we can say the product here is 3, the sum is 4, and the numbers now are 3 and 1. So when you multiply 3 and 1, you get 3. Then when you multiply, you add 3 and 4, you get 3 and 1, you get 4. So you shall have 3a squared, then plus 3ab, then plus ab plus b squared. Plus b squared. Then we collect like terms, then we factor out. We can simply factor out 3a here so that we have 3a into a plus b. Then we add b into a plus b. A plus b. So we take 3a plus b, then a plus b. So that is the value of the numerator. Then we solve the denominator. the denominator. Now with the denominator, we have 4a squared plus 3ab b squared. So the product is -4. Sum is 3. So the numbers will be 4 and -1. So those will be the numbers. Then we now solve. We shall have 4a squared plus 4ab. And then we minus a b minus a b, then minus b squared. So we factor out. We factor out 4a so that we have a plus b so that our answer now we take 4a minus b and then a plus b. So this is the numerator, this is the denominator. Now we combine the two. We take now the numerator over denominator. So the numerator here, we have 3a plus b, then a plus b. Then we divide by 4a minus b, then a plus b. So you can see we have common, which is a plus b, which cancels out. Then we remain with 3a plus b over 4a minus b. 4a minus b. So this one becomes your final answer when you simplify the given expression. When you simplify the given expression, that is what you get as your answer. Now, before we move to the third question, just to remind you that Ascending Grades Online School is already preparing for the December holiday program that will run for exactly 5 weeks from the 11th of November to 12th of December, and it will be handling sciences and mathematics, all the 3 sciences and mathematics. For you to enroll your student, kindly contact us through the number that is shared on the screen so that your student can now benefit from our classes. Then we move to the third question. So the external length, width and height of an open rectangular container 41, 21 and 15.5 and 15.5 respectively. The thickness of the material making the container is 5 millimeter. If the container has 8 liters of water, calculate the internal height above the water level. The internal height above the level of water. Now we can see we have a thick, the material, the thickness of the material is 5 millimeter. You can convert it to centimeter. So 5 millimeter. You can mark it. Now we can start from here. So 5 millimeter, that is equivalent to 0.5 centimeter. So the thickness of the material. Now we can look at the length. So for us to get the length, we simply take 21 minus the thickness, which is 0.5 minus 0.5 on both sides, so that we have 20 centimeters. Then the width we take 41 minus the thickness on both sides, which is 0.5, and then on the other side 0.5, and we get 40 centimeters. Then the height we shall only remove 1, so we shall have 15.5 minus 0.5. It is only on one side, therefore we shall have 15 centimeters. Now we have to calculate the volume, and the volume is given by length times width times height. So we shall have 20 times 40 times 15, so which is equivalent to 12,000 cubic centimeters. Now we know that 1 liter is equal to 1,000 cubic centimeters. Therefore, what about the 8 liters? So the 8 liters will be 8 times 1,000 is cubic centimeters, and we shall remain with 4,000 cubic centimeters. Centimeters. We shall have 4,000 cubic centimeters of, that is now the volume occupied by 8 liters of water. Now they want us to find that is now the remaining part that is not filled with water. The volume is now 4,000 cubic centimeters. Now we know we now know the length, and we know the width. We know the length and the width. So we shall have so we know we have now 20 times length, the width. Now width we shall have 40 times height that we don't know, gives us now 4,000 cubic centimeters. So now h, the value of h, now we shall have now 800 h. It is equals to 4,000 cubic centimeters. That is 20 times 40, 800. Now it 800 to find the value of h. The height so 8 into 40, 5 times, so we have the height is now 5. So the height that is not filled with water becomes now 5 centimeters. So that is now the the height that is not filled with water. Then move to the next question, number 4. Number 4, translation T. Translation T. Translation T our matrix. So it represent with the column vector 5, 4, and then another translation U by column vector -3, 2. A point P mapped to a point Q by T, and then Q is mapped to a point R by U. If R has coordinates of 7 and -4, determine the coordinates of P. Determine the coordinates of P. Now, with this one, we know that T, we are given T is equal to 5, 4. That is what we are given. Then U is equal to -3, 2. Now, P is mapping to Q, then Q to R. P to Q, then Q to R gives us R. Therefore, Q simply take R minus U, and that is 7, -4 minus 3, 2, and that gives us 10, -6. So that is the vector Q. So that we have T now. T plus P gives us a Q, and that P will be equal to Q minus T. So we have Q, and our new Q now, which is now 10, -6. Then we subtract T, and our T is 5, 4. We subtract the two to get the value of P. So our P will be equal to 5, -10. The question was asking if R has the coordinates of 7, -4, determine the coordinates of P. So the coordinates of P, this is the value of P, the vector P. So the coordinates of P will be equal to 5, then -10. So those will be the coordinates of P. And you get your 3 marks. Then you get your 3 marks. Then we move to question 5. Question 5. A line L1 whose equation is 5x minus 3y minus 15 is equal to 0 passes through the point A and B. Point A is on the x-axis, while point B is equidistant from x and y-axis and lies in the fourth quadrant of a Cartesian plane. Calculate the exact coordinates of point A and B. The exact coordinates. So the equation that we are given here, minus 3y minus 15 is equal to 0. So we find the value of y. So we divide, we can say that 3y is equal to 5x minus 15. So that is in terms of y. That is in terms of y. So that we divide both sides by 3, by 3, by 3. Now, we now have that y is equal to 5 over 3x minus 5. So at x-axis, y is equal to 0. Then we equate, now that y is 0, we say y 0 is equal to 5 over 3x minus 5, so that we now have 5 over 3 x is equal to 5. Multiply by 3 over 5, multiply by 3 over 5. This one cancels, so that our x becomes now, this one cancels, goes with this, so we have our x is equal to 3. So point A, the points are 3 when y is 0 now. So we have point A is 3, 0. Then, so that is now the coordinates of A. Then we move to the coordinates of B. We look for the coordinates of B. Now to look for the coordinates of B, we have the equation y is equal to 5 over minus 5. So at y axis, or the is equal to 0. So where we have x, we replace with 0. Therefore y will be equal to negative, and we have 0 y. So we have 0, negative 5. Then you have 3, 0. Now, they're saying that point B is equidistant from x and y axis. From x and y. Therefore, this is x and y. So x is 3, 0, and y is 0, negative 5. So B, being equidistant, that one will take the values of x, which is 3 plus 0, divided by 2, and the values of y, negative 5 plus 0 divided by 2. So those are the values of B, which is equidistant. That means in the middle of the two. So we shall have the values of B as 1.5 and then negative 2.5. So those are the values of B. And the values of A, we have 3, 0. That is how we handle that question. Then we move to the next one. Question number 6. Two trains, that is train 1 and train T1 and T2, traveling the same direction on parallel tracks are just 12 meters apart. Train T1 is 72 meters long and traveling at 108 kilometers per hour. T2 is x meters long and traveling at 72 kilometers per hour. Find the length of T2 in meters if they pass each other. Completely after 16.2 seconds. So you can have this sketch, which is 72 meters. The distance from here to here is, they're saying from train T1 to T2 is 12 meters. But train the T2 is x meters long. But train T1 is moving at a speed of 108 kilometers per hour. Then the train T2 72 kilometers per hour. So that is how we interpret the question. So that we can now look for the relative speed of the two. So we shall have 108 minus kilometers per hour. So that means that we shall have a 36 That is that will be equal to 10 meters per 10 meters per second. Now we look for now time, and time is given by distance over speed. Distance over speed, so that we have 72 plus 12 plus x, that will be the distance, divided by now the relative speed, which is 10, is equal to the time, which is 16.2. So we now find the value of x. So the value of x now, so we shall have 72 plus 12 plus x is equal to multiply by 10, 162. So 84 plus x is equal to 162. So we remain with x on one side, so that we should have x is equal to 162 minus 84. That one becomes 78. But x is now the distance of the train. So that means the train is 78 meters long. The length of the train. That means that the train is 78 meters long. Now, we move now to the next one, to the next 7. The actual area of an estate is 3,510 hectares. 3,510 hectares. The estate is represented by a rectangle measuring 2.6 meters by 1.5 centimeters on the map, whose scale is 1 to n, ratio 1 to 10 to n. I mean, find the value of n. Then you give your answer in standard form. Your answer should be in standard form. So they're saying that the actual area of an estate. So the estate, they are saying it is in a shape of a rectangle. So we sketch a rectangle so that the length is equal to 2.6 centimeters, and the width is equal to 1.5 centimeters. So that is what we are given. Now, they're saying that the actual area of the estate is 3,510 hectares, and it is on a map whose scale is 1 to n. So we are supposed to find the value of n. And now 9 square centimeters. And we know that 1 hectare is equal to 10,000 square meters, and one hectare is equal to 10,000 square meters. Therefore, we look for what 3,510 hectares represent. So we shall have 3,000. The area will now be 3,000. That will be times 10,000. So that means it's 3.51 times 10 power 7. When you multiply, we count the number of zeros: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus that one decimal place. We have 10 power 7. That is square meter. Square meter. That is now the area. So we know that 1 square meter is equal to 10,000 square centimeters. Now we still multiply so that the area now will be equal to 3.51. That is times 10 power 7. Then we still multiply by 10 power 4. 10 power 4. So that we have 3.51. 3.51 times now 10 power 11. It becomes times 10 power 11. Now this is square centimeters. Square centimeters. Now we now find the ratio now. And the ratio they're saying that it is 3.9 cubic centimeters to now we shall have it is 3 times 10 power 11. So 0.9. This goes with this so that we have 1, 2. Remember this is square centimeter. So square goes so that we have 1, 1, 2. Now the answer that we're going to get times 3.9. So we shall have 0.9 power 11. So give your answer in standard form. So the best answer is 129.1 times 10. So we reduce 1 power because of the decimal that we moved, power 10. So this is what we have as our ratio. It is ratio 1 to 9.1 times 10 power 10. 10 power 10. That way. So that one becomes our answer. And we times 10 power 10. Then we move to the eighth question. The angle of elevation from two points A and B to the top of a story building are 48 degrees and 57 degrees respectively. If AB is 50 meters and the point A and B are opposite to each other, calculate now the distance of point A to the building. Distance of point A to the building, and B and the height of the building. The height of the building. Now we can have a sketch of the two. So they are saying we have point A. So we can have this. So this is where point A is. And the angle of elevation here is 48 degrees. And the distance here is x what? X, the distance is x. We take it as x. Then we also have a point B that is opposite. So that means point B is right here. This is now point B. Now they're saying the distance. So if A here to the point, to this point here, if we have it as x, that means from here to here we shall have 50 minus 1 will be 50 minus x. Now we can now use trigonometric the trigonometry, so that we have tan 48 gives us h over x, the height, so that the height becomes 1.1106 x. Then tan 57 gives us h over 50 minus x, so that 1.5399 equals to h over, now we shall have yes, that we shall have 50, yeah, we shall have 50 minus x, we still have 50 minus x, so that L, now the length here, the length will be equal to 1.5399 times 50 minus x, height 76 minus, sorry, 76, it's now 76 it's, no, we know x, now we divide by 2, we shall 0.55 29. Now that is the value of x. X represents the distance of point A to the building. So that is x now. Then we calculate the height of the building. We know that h is equal to 1.1106 x. And now we have x as 29.05. Therefore, h will be equal to 1.1106 times x, and our x is 29.05. So that our answer becomes 32.3 meters. So that is the value of the building. That's simple. Then the mean of five numbers is 20. The mean of the first three numbers is 16, and the fifth number is greater than the fourth number by 8. Find the number. Find the number. Now, the mean of five numbers is 20. The mean of 5. Mean now we divide by 5 of 5 numbers is equal to what? 20. Then divide by, so times 5 is equal to 100. We multiply by 5 both sides. Then they're saying that the mean of, now the mean of the first three, so the mean of first three, now we shall divide by 3 equals to what? Now we have now mean of, that is now, then the fifth number, we have the fifth number, we have the fifth number, x, that is some, the mean of x3 is 48. So we have the first three and the five numbers and the three numbers. Therefore, we can take 100 minus 100. So we take 100 minus 40, that is now 48, and we get 50, 52. Now we can now let can we do it here or here? Let's do it here. Now let the fourth be x and fifth be x, be x plus, fifth be x plus 8, because they are saying the fifth number is greater than the fourth by 8. So if the fourth is x, then the fifth is x plus 8. So that if we have the fourth, which is x, plus the fifth x plus 8, we get what? 52. 52. So that we find the value of x. 2x is equal to now 44. So we divide by 2, divide by 2, and x is equal to 22. X is equal to 22. Now, remember that this is it. So we finished. Now the 22, the value of x plus 8, which is the difference, so that we get the fifth number. This one and this gives us 30. That is now the value of the fifth number. We are asked to find the fifth number. We move to the 10th question. 10th question. A Kenyan bank buys and sells foreign currencies as shown below. So on the buying and selling columns, you have one Hong Kong dollar and one South African rand at the exchange rates, as you can see. Now there is this tourist who arrived in Kenya with 105,000 Hong Kong dollars and changed the whole amount to Kenyan shillings. Then while in Kenya, she spent 403,889,000 Kenyan shillings and changed the balance to South African rands before leaving for South Africa. Calculate the amount in South African rands that she received. Amount in South African rand that she received. Now, first of all, this tourist arrived in Kenya with 105 Hong Kong dollars. Now we have to change these dollars to Kenyan shillings. Now we know that one Hong Kong dollar will give us now 9.74. We shall use the buying column. Then she arrived with 105,000 Hong Kong dollars. So that means we shall have 9.74 times 105,000, so that we have in Kenyan shillings we shall have 1,000,000 and 22,000, then 700 shillings. Now this tourist she spent 403,899. Therefore the balance that she was left with will be now 1,000,000 minus 403,897. So the balance she remained with in Kenyan shillings is now 61,000. Sorry, 618,803. This is Kenyan shillings that she received it, which she later changed to South African rands, and we know that 12,803. We now convert, we cross multiply, so that we have 1 times 618, 803, then we divide by 12.11. So the amount in South African rand will be equivalent to 51,098.51. So this is the amount in South African rand that she exchanged the balance to. That is how we get your 3 marks on the exchange. Now we move to the question 11, but before that, I'd like to acknowledge the following. So we have Winnie saying this is paper 2. We are dealing with, this is paper 1. We are having a look at this paper 1 Nyaga. Paper 1. Now we also have Damaris. She's following and saying kudos Malim for the good job studying for math. Thank you for that. We have Victor Musimi. Wonderful job, Malim. Keep up the good work. Thank you for that. Remember to subscribe and like, comment, and share to our channel. We also remember that we have our December holiday program that will be running for 5 weeks from the 11th of November to 12th of December. And we shall be handling the sciences, that is biology, chemistry, and physics, together with mathematics. Kindly to enroll, you can call us through the given number, whereby we always have classes on Google Meets to help your student achieve his or her goals. Remember, here in Ascending Grades, we elevate your grades and we also elevate your future. Lateral, cyclic, quadrilateral. Point O is the center of the circle. Angle ADO is 30 degrees and angle ADO is 40 degrees. It's not very clear. It's not very clear. I think this is how it looks. I can try to finish it up this way. And then we have that way. And then we have that. How it looks. But here we have 30 degrees. This is now point O. Point O. Yeah. Then this is 40 degrees. Now they are asking us to calculate the size of angle BCD. This is B, C, this is D. So this is the angle that they want us to calculate. The angle. Now to find BCD, it will be simple. We know that here to get how do you call it? The center, this angle. We have this 30. We can have this. Look at this. We construct or we have that line so that if this is 30, you know this is the radius, so it is equal. So and then this is equal to this, so that you can see. So if this is 30, that means this is 30, right? Then if this is 40, when you add 30 plus 40, you get 70. So the whole of this angle is 70, and we know that the angle angle at the circumference angle at the center is twice the 70. Therefore, decrease. Now that we get decrease. So this angle is going to decrease. Simple as that. Then you get your 3 marks. 3 marks. Then we move to the 12th question. Find the inequalities that define the region R shown in the figure. Shown in the figure below. Shown in the figure below. Now, when you look closely, you can see that we have shaded region and the required region. I can see STEM Smart Academy is following live. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much. So we are supposed to look for the required region, and you can see we have the lines. So you can find the inequality that define the region R. Region R in the figure below. Now, before that, I can see Krish Irani is saying, hello, Malim. Thank you, Krish, for following. And we wish you well in your exams, the coming Kcse exams. Then we have to look for L1. We can have this as L1. And then we have this as L2. Then we have this as L3. L3. Now, we can find now using L1, you look for 2 points. You can look for 2 points. L1, where is this? Now we can have 0, this point. This one is 0, 4. You can have 0, 4. Then we can also have another point. This one is, we can use the 2 points to find the gradient of minus 4, then divide by 3 minus 0 is equal to negative 4 over 3. So that means we look for the equation y minus 0 over x minus 3 gives us negative 4 over 3, which is the gradient. And we shall have 3y equals to negative 4 into x minus 3. So open the other side. So 3y is equal to negative 4x, then plus 12. So we divide by 3, we divide by 3, and we have our y to be equal to negative 4 over 3x plus 4. Taking point 0, 0, now taking 0, 0, we shall have y to be less than or equal to negative 4 over, sorry, negative 4 over 3 over 3x plus 4. So this is now the equation of line L1. Then we move to L2, equation of line L2. We also look for 2 points, L2. We also look for 2 points. Line L2, this is where it is. So we can also take 0, 4, this point, and another point along this. We can take this one, negative 2, 0, the 2 points. So we have in underline L2, we have 0, 4, and then we have negative 2, 0. Negative 2, 0. Those are the 2 points for line L2. So we obviously look for the gradient, so equal to 2. Then gradient is equal to 2. And then we look for the equation. So y minus 0 over x minus x plus 4. Now taking the 2 points, taking points to be 0, 0, we shall have y is equal to 2x plus 4. Plus 4. This is now the equation for line L2. Then we finish with the last line, which is line L3. Line L3. So L3. So we also take 2 points. This is now line L3. We can take negative. We have, this is now around here. We can take this as our first one, 3, 0. Then we can also take this one, this point here. So this is negative 3, negative 2. So we have negative 3, negative 2, and 3, 0. Now, obviously, gradient, which is 0 minus minus 2 over 3 minus minus 3. So we shall have 2 over 6, which is equal to a third. So that is the gradient. We look now for the equation. So y minus 0 over, we simply take one of the points. We take 3, 0. So y minus 0, then x minus 3 gives us a third. So we find the value of y. So y, now it's now 3y is equal to x minus 3. So divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3. So y is equal to a third, now the value of y. So our y is equal to third x minus 1. That is how you get how many marks? You get your 3 marks by finding the inequalities that satisfy the given region. So that's simple. And then which is question number 13. Find the length of a rectangle the length of a rectangle is increased by 20%, while the width is decreased by 10%. Find the percentage change in the area. Percentage change in the area. Percentage change in the area. Now, we can have a sketch of a rectangle. So you have the length, you have the width. You know that area is given by length times what? Length times width. Length times width. Now, we have the length of the rect is increased by 20%, while the width is reduced by 10%. So that means you can have this. We know that the area is length times width. You can have L1 will be equal to now 1.2, that is 120. So we assume it's 1, so 1 plus 20%, it will be 1.2, the length. Then L2, it is reduced by 10%, so it will be 90. So 90, we have it as 0.9 L. 0.9 L. So that A2 is equal to now 1.08 LW. Now using now we shall have, this is now the new area. So the area now will be equal to 1.08 LW minus the actual area, which is length times width. That is now the area. 1.08. This is now the new area. 1.08 LW. That is length width. Then we subtract the actual area, which is length width. 0.8 minus 1. We factor out, but we now look for the percentage change. So the percentage now 1 point plus now 0.08 times 100. Remember, LW cancels with LW, so that we have 8%. Now this is the percentage change in the area. Percentage change in the area. I can see Liz Nyamai. She has joined. She is saying today's lesson is amazing. Thank you, Liz. And thank you for watching. You can share this class to your friends. Also remember to comment and subscribe. Then we move to the 14th question. They're saying using the grid provided below. Solve the simultaneous equation. Now this is the equation. The simultaneous equation is given. Now we have to look for the points. Using the first one, let us find the points. You can find it maybe down here. 3x 3x minus 4y equals to 10. Then we can start with 4, so that we have 4y is equal to 3x minus 10. So that we find the value of y. Y is equal to 3 over 4 x minus 2.5. So you can look for 2 points. One is x, another y, so that we draw. So when x is 0, y is going to be negative 2.5. And when x is now 3.3, we're going to have y as 0. So you can use the 2 points to draw. So we have x is 0, y is somewhere here. Sorry, it's 2.5. That is 1, negative 2. Then we join the 2. We can join the 2 lines. So that is now 3x minus 4y equals to 10. Now we move to the next one. The next is we can have it in this other side. 5x plus 7y is equal to 3. So we start with y, so 7y is equal to negative 5x, then plus 3. Divide by 7, divide by 7, divide by 7. So y will be equal to negative 5 over 7x, then plus 3 over 7. Now we can take 2 to 3 points for us to have something accurate. So we have x, y. So when x is 1, let's have x as 1. Now y will be 0.3. Simply take x, replace x with 1. Then when x is 0.6, y becomes 0. And when x is negative 2, y becomes 1.9. So you can draw this one. You can also draw this one. So when x is 1, y is 0.3. X is, where is it? X is 1. Y is 0.5, 0.3, somewhere here. Somewhere there. Then we have 0.60. So 0.6 is 0. So 0.6 is somewhere. So you have 0 as y. Sorry, you can, let's use negative 2, 1.9. Negative 2, then 1.9. 1.9 is just here. 1.9. I think we can ignore this. We can ignore this one, 0.6 and 0, so that we can still use the 2 points to have our straight line. So we join the 2. Join the 2. And the 2. That is what we are having, and this is 5x, then plus 7y is equal to 3. So that is how we are going now to solve. Now we are going to find the values of x, values of x, values of x. Now we have, for instance, we can use the first equation. We are given that we have x, sorry, we can use this one, 3x, 3 over 4x, that is giving us now 2.5. We have y as 0, y as 0. Now we can take x, we can replace our y with 0, so that we have 3 over 4x. So we now we take 3 over 4 x to be, now that y is 0, will be equal to 2.5. So that we multiply both sides by 4 over 3 times 4 over 3. So they cancel out. Then x becomes what? 3.3. That is when y is 0. On the other side, you can take y as 0. Y as 0. When you take y to be equals to 0, so that we shall have 0 is equals to negative 5 over 7. Then x will be equal to 3 over 7. Now 7 over 5, 7 over 5. So this one will be the value of x, and the value of x on the other side, 0.6. Then we'll move to the next question. The next question is on construction. We shall skip that one for now because of the instruments that we can't be able to construct on our screen, but we shall arrange for that very soon. Then we move to the last question on section 1, that is on transformation, matrices and transformation. And the question reads, a transformation whose matrix is given by 2x minus 1, and then we have 2, and then negative 3x, maps a triangle with area of 8 cubic centimeters onto another triangle with area of 72 square centimeters. Now you are supposed to calculate the value of x. You are now required to find the value of x. I can see Amos Waititwa Wanyama, who is saying that math is the art of life, which is very true. Thank you, Amos, for joining. Remember to subscribe, like, and share on our channel. So we can solve this by having our area scale factor to be equal to determinant. We know that. Now the determinant, we simply take determinant. We know how we find the determinant. determinant, we always take, we shall have now x into 2x minus 1 minus, so it is this times this minus this times this. So that is how we do. Now minus, now 2, that is 2, sorry, 2 minus 3, not 2x. It is 2, what is this? Sorry, let me rub this so that I can see. So we shall have x. So x into 2x minus 1 minus now 2x minus 3 gives us the the area scale factor. And the area scale factor, we take the area of the triangle, which is 72, to the other triangle, which is now 8. Now this is now our area scale factor, which is going to be equivalent to the determinant. So determinant says you take 2x minus 1 times x, and then minus 2 times negative. This is 2 times, sorry, this is 2 times negative 3. So determinant is equal to area scale factor, and our determinant, we are taking 2x minus 1 times x, then minus 2 times negative 3, which is equal to this area scale factor, which is 72 divided by n just to positive 6 equals to 72 divided by 8, we get 9. So we're going to have a quadratic equation. So we have 2x squared minus x, then plus 6 minus 9 equals to 0. So we have our equation, but we can still finish with 6 minus 9, so that we have 2x squared minus x minus 3 is equal to 0. So we can have the product to be equal to negative 6. Then the sum will be equal to negative 1. So the numbers here will be negative 3 and 2. Negative 3 and 2. So that we have 2x squared plus 2x minus 3x minus 3 equals to 0. So that we have now 2x into x plus 1, we factor out 2x, plus then minus 3 into x plus 1. So we now take 2x, this one minus 3, then one of this, which is x plus 1, which is equal to 0. Then we have, we can now have our, so we have 2x is equal to 0 minus 3 is equal to 0, or x to 0. So we shall have 2x will be equal to negative 1. So it is x is equal to 1.5, or x is equal to negative 1. So this is what we are going to have as our values of x. So calculate the value of x. So these are the values of x that we are getting. That is how now you get your 3 good marks for question number 16. Up to there, you can stop there for today, and then we shall continue with section 2. Remember to subscribe so that when we upload, we are going to get the second section of this paper. Now remember, to enroll for a December holiday program that is coming from the 11th of November to 12th of December, just 3 weeks. We shall be tackling sciences and mathematics. Contact us through the number that you can see on this screen. Thank you for following. Thank you for being part of us. Have a great time.